Link TV, connecting you to the world. Link TV is viewer supported. Watch more at linktv.org.
The drug war.
Across America, heroin is taking hold.
Versus the war on drugs. Next on Global Pulse. A comparison of how these broadcasters are covering Mexico's drug war and the American war on drugs.
In the United States, Arizona Governor Jan Brewer passed a law that makes it a crime to be undocumented. Police will be authorized to detain anyone suspected of not having proof that they are in the country legally.
The governor pointed out that the law not only protects the citizens of Arizona from immigration, but from the drug cartels operating on the border with Mexico as well.
One of the reasons Arizona has instituted this harsh immigration law is to curb drug violence. But is it the right action? Arizona's citizens have good reason for alarm, as these reports from Fox News and Germany's Das Erste reported.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona. The drug gangs purchase large caliber guns more and more to attack the military in Mexico and to defend their merchandise in the United States. This is the end of the high fence, Rancher Glenn shows us, and they can still get through there easily with their drugs.
They can't see this spot right here.
Glenn shows us the Mexican smugglers' storage facility, right next to the border fence. Below us, we spot a chase by the Border Patrol. But neither the drugs nor the violence from Mexico can be stopped while the cartels rule there.
To Roger Barnett, the murder of neighbor and fellow cattleman Rob Krentz is no surprise.
It's a sad deal that Rob had to die over this.
On Saturday, while tending to his ranch, Krentz radioed his brother saying he was going to help an illegal immigrant. That was the last anyone heard from him. For years, ranchers have complained they're being overrun by illegal immigrants and drug runners.
Mexico's cartels dominate 70% of the U.S. illegal drug market. In this war, the drugs are consumed by Americans, and the war is waged with U.S. guns, as NBC News reported.
Mexican officials say they too have a national security threat. Thousands of high-powered weapons from the United States in the hands of traffickers.
This is really a circular trade. American consumers buy the drugs, send billions of dollars back to Mexico, and that money then fuels the violence in Mexico.
It was against the backdrop of the horrific drug cartel violence in Mexico that Holder broached the idea of ramping up gun control here in the U.S.
But messing with Americans' right to bear arms is not going to be easy, as this Fox News report reveals.
Gun rights advocates say they have concerns about Attorney General Eric Holder's commitment to the Second Amendment specifically.
Reinstitute the ban on the sale of assault weapons. I think that will have a positive impact in Mexico.
I just wish the Attorney General would respect it, as opposed to running out now trying to use this tragedy in Mexico as a way to pass some other gun ban on the backs of the American public.
65 Democrats on the House side sent Holder a letter saying they will actively oppose his efforts.
So what about the drugs? U.S. coverage of drug addiction tends to focus on Americans as victims, as this ABC News piece illustrates.
Children in middle and high schools are now being the targets of dealers pushing a cheap and powerful strain of the drug.
Brian Balzer was a popular athlete, honor student, and to his parents' surprise, a heroin addict.
We were horrified.
Brian overdosed. He was discovered on the bedroom floor at his grandfather's home.
35 million Americans, 14%, are addicted to some form of drugs. Al Jazeera English shed some light on the situation and featured an American with a solution.
These women are among tens of millions of drug users in the United States. They're seeking help at this drug rehabilitation center in El Paso, but they say ending their addictions will be terribly difficult because drugs are readily available.
If we said, let's go get some heroin, could we do that right now? Is it easy or hard?
It's easy.
Last year, Washington allocated $14 billion for drug-related treatment and prevention programs in the U.S. But this year, many states are reeling from the economic crisis and cutting back on drug treatment programs.
The policy we've been using isn't working. We're calling for a system of regulation and control of narcotics, who can buy them and who can sell them, to stop drug gangs from selling them to kids in school grounds and stuff.
The U.S. continues to spend hundreds of millions of dollars helping fight drug traffickers in Mexico. Is it time to spend some of that money helping to cure drug addicts at home? Tell us what you think. Go to linktv.org/globalpulse and leave us a comment. For Global Pulse, I'm Erin Coker.
Link TV is the only U.S. network dedicated to global and national news, uncompromising documentaries, and diverse cultural programs. Programs which connect you to the world. To learn more, visit linktv.org.